Alright, and this is gonna be the final attempt of this video, probably. We're wearing our Vegas hat, pouring one out for the Raiders. I do think what they were able to do last year was very impressive. I believe with the ability to make the playoffs with their number one wide receiver, killing someone, and their cornerback getting arrested, and their coach getting fucking suspended from or basically forced to be cut from the NFL. All that they were able to do was get to the playoffs. That's impressive. I didn't expect it. I think they worked really hard to do that. And I think their team, depending on how things come in the next few years, could be very successful if they keep going the way that they're going. If they start heading up, a lot of bad shit happened. Now it's their time to rise up. Now I say all that, but a lot of bad shit happened for them this week, right? And not, caused by themselves this time, luckily. This time, the Broncos are acquiring a superstar, future Hall of Famer, in Russell Wilson, still in his prime to their team, which is massive. Russell Wilson is going to be a monster on this offense. If their scheme starts to look more like Green Bay's scheme and stops being that really boring style, not only do they have a better run game than Green Bay, they might not have a better quarterback or a better wide receiver core than Green Bay, but they most certainly have a better run game and a better defense. The reason we're comparing them to Green Bay right now is because their offensive coordinator is now the coach of the Denver Broncos, which is very significant to their style. Their style is going to be a more, you know, they're going to have more deep ball options. They're going to have lots of shit like that they just didn't have with Teddy Bridgewater and their old coach. Their team allowing the third fewest points in the NFL is huge. And if their offense ends up being a high powered offense, which it looks like it can be now with this Russell Wilson trade, the Denver Broncos are going to be a very scary top 10 team. That all depends on how the offensive schemes and structure ends up becoming, and if they're able to use Russell Wilson correctly, which I think they'll be able to. I think this team is going to be a top 10 team, and they might even be in this division's really hard, is what I want to say. I want to say that they're going to be the more complete team in the division, right? They're going to have a better defense than the Chiefs, and they might not have a better offense than the Chiefs, but they'll have a good enough offense to where it doesn't matter. That's what I want to say. I want to say that Denver can be the most complete team in the AFC West, pretty sure, and they'll be able to come out on top as the number one team in this division. That's what I think. I think the Raiders, unfortunately, I don't want to count them out because they did end up as the number two in this division last year. But with the Chargers finding a good linebacker upgrade, it's really looking like the Raiders are going to be the worst team in this division. I mean, they have the worst quarterback in the division ever. Like, Derek Carr is good. He's a solid quarterback. But now it's a Herbert, Russell Wilson, and fucking Patrick Mahomes. This is a crazy fucking division when it comes to quarterbacking. So we're gonna see some fun shootouts. The one thing that a lot of these teams don't have, though, is the defense that the Broncos have. The defense that the Broncos have is very good at not allowing points, and it's why I am under the assumption, or I believe, that the Broncos will end up being the best team in this division, which is crazy to say. I get everybody's like, oh, well, Mahomes is just too good. Mahomes is, and he is, but I mean, they just don't have the defense, right? We saw that that game against the Bills in the playoffs, man. That was a shootout. Like, I don't think the Broncos allow that to happen. I really don't. So we're gonna see a really, really crazy division, a very tough division, the best division, which is exciting. I think specifically when we look at trades and what's going to happen, right? The trade from Broncos, I mean, I'm not expecting Drew Lock to start on the Seahawks, but I guess that's what we're looking at, right? He's probably going to start on the Seahawks. We're not going to really talk about that end of the trade. We're going to talk about the Russell Wilson end on how significant this is for Denver as a team. So when we look at Denver as a team and how their offensive structure works, it seems like even putting Russell Wilson in their old structure wouldn't be very successful. They had a very boring scheme that relied on run game and a very fucking sleeper style, right? But with the Green Bay offensive coordinator and Russell Wilson, we're probably going to see a completely different offense. It's very hard to be able to compare what the potential is for this offense. I want to say that if we compare it to the last year's offense, I actually don't think they get that much better. Just because the schemes are bad. Maybe they would have been able to do better things with Russell Wilson because he's able to do more in general, but we don't really know that. So, and I just don't believe their scheme last year would have been successful in the long run. They weren't good. They weren't very good offensively, even with two running backs each having 900 yards each and having around 13 touchdowns total. I mean, that's a huge run game. They had a really good run game. Both running backs were averaging 4.4 yards. Very good, very good. And adding a superstar quarterback to that, and now maybe a better offensive scheme. There's a reason you can see this team just being up and up and up. You can see them be very good. I see people saying crazy shit like they're ranked 20 to 25 team. No. That's so stupid, it's crazy. This team is easily a top 10 team as long as the offensive structure gets better, which it will. I believe it will. So this is going to be a top 10 team in the NFL, and they're a huge threat. Now we'll go to Khalil Mack going to the Chargers, which is funny. Went from the Raiders to the Bears to the Chargers. Funny how that is. What this does for the Chargers. They have a better defense now. They're going to be able to get to the quarterback more. They already kind of good. They already kind of could. That wasn't really their problem, though. Their problem was they allowed deep balls. They would get really far behind because their cornerbacks weren't too great. Does this fix Chargers' problems? Not really, but it definitely makes them a better team. Like, there's no doubt about that. It's just not a significant upgrade that'll make them like the best in their division. To make them the best in their division, I think they need to really figure it out on defense. Their offense is kind of, I'm gonna say shaky, right? Because even though Herbert's the man, he is that guy, and they have wide receivers that are those guys. It seems like they're offensive coordinating isn't getting as much out of them as they should be. I see that Herbert's completion percentage isn't really that, it's not as good as it could be. And I also see a lot of, ignore the cat if you hear it, a lot of the receivers drop a lot of balls. I don't know why. I mean, that's not something you can do with coordination, but I feel like with these weapons that they have on the offense, they should probably be getting more out of it. I want to see them get more out of that. And maybe it's just the fact that they do wind up behind every now and then because they don't have a really great defense that we're seeing this happen. So they're not able to get their whole, offensive shit going because they're kind of like, well, we kind of need to score because we're behind. But I don't know if that's truly the case. And I want to see the coaching staff get more out of their players because I think they can. I mean, Herbert threw for 5,000 yards last season, but he had 38 touchdowns. I believe you can get more out of him, which is crazy. I believe you can get another 5,000-yard season and 40-plus touchdowns, and you just have a slightly better defense, and this team looks really good. This is the best division in the NFL right now. The division that was the best last year was the Rams, 49ers, Cardinals, and Seahawks. That division was probably the best, but I can easily see that this is now the best division, right? We're looking at the number two division. Like, we're looking at a division where, honestly, I don't even know if it's possible, but like, all these teams, like, God, is it? I would have to do the numbers, but like, I could see three of these teams making it to the playoffs, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. They're just so their division's so good. Um, I really don't know. But that is about the end of this video. I think Russell Wilson is obviously a significant upgrade to Teddy Bridgewater. I think anybody who's saying 20 to 25 team, you're a fucking moron. I don't know how else to say it, right? Uh, you are not a smart person. You are pretending to be. Because this team was winning until Bridgewater got hurt and they were on a large loss streak, right? But they were winning with a really, really neutered, bad offensive structure. Without that, and with a strong offensive scheme and Russell Wilson, this team's going to be very, very difficult to deal with. They already have a good defense. So we'll see next year. But this was a good pickup for the Broncos. I think everything they traded away, honestly, they obviously won this trade. I think for Khalil Mack, that trade was also won by the Chargers. They gave up like two fucking McChickens for him. I don't know why they only they didn't trade much away for him. We're not going to talk about the Carson Wentz stuff in this video because no one gives a fuck about Carson Wentz. The Washington Commanders probably got to become a slightly better team. And they only traded away, once again, two McChickens for fucking Carson Wentz. So that's nice. Give away a few McChickens, you get a slightly better quarterback. Your team still sucks, though. But hey, let's see if Carson Wentz can do it next year. I don't think he can, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you when more news happens. Hopefully Saints news soon. Hopefully, fucking hell. See ya.